Yeah, yeah. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated. Yeah.
And probably the deepest, like the most darkest, like place I was ever in. I came home and then I was just eating. Like I don't know what I was eating, but it was. And my mom's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like yeah, like I'm okay. And I continued eating. And she's like, no, like are you serious? Like, are you okay? I was like, yeah. And I looked up to her, and then just like when I saw her eyes, was like it just hit me, and I just like broke down. Like I started bawling, like, and like it just came up. Like it's like I was not expecting it, and it's just like, but I guess like her worried face like set it off. But like I just like bawled, and it was like the weirdest thing ever. And it's like you're like I don't see you like good. I'm like no, like I'm good. You know, I'm over here like trying to like dry out my tears and everything. Like no, I'm good. It's like she's like no, like you're not. Like you're really not. And that's when I started looking at it, like starting like seeing like why, you know, like it was weird. But I was at that point, those 2.5 years, on top of the stress from school and work, I got pretty deep into depression.
You think that had something to do with it? Like the school, the whole being
Too much
so
of a work
stressed,
load.
I think
work
so.
and everything.
No, yeah, definitely. Because
I mean, you didn't have time. I'm guessing you didn't really have time to be like just hanging out with friends, you know, or someone to talk to, because you're always busy, you know.
Yeah, and like when I would hang out with friends, like I'll talk to them and like kind of like, you know, like relieve myself, like, or kind of feel better. But that only did it, like that only helped so much.
It was
and
still
like,
there.
And like it was mostly stress. But like, cause afterwards I got my private pilot license, and then I started seeing the counselor. It was like
from their school there, or from where?
Like it was after like
okay.
So I finished school, got my private pilot license, and then let's see, I think it was that same year. So I got my private pilot license 2020 of January, and then like March of 2020. So this is what, like a year ago?
About a year ago.
Yeah, a little over a year ago. Yeah.
And I started seeing this counselor, and she's like started helping me out and all this, and she's like, I mean, she did help me out a lot, and she asked me questions. I'm like, well, the main one, she's like, do you want to be a pilot? And I'm like, yeah, like I want to become a pilot. Like, I'm already this far.
I already went through all this.
Yeah, I'm already this far in. Like, yeah, like this is what I want to do. She's like, okay. And she would just leave it at that. I'm like, and she'll ask again.
Like the open door, huh?
Yeah. And then she'll ask again. I'm like, do you really want to become a pilot? I'm like, yeah, like, you know, whatever. Like, I went through like maybe 9 or 10 sessions with her. And then she's all like, it's like, why do you want to become a pilot? And like, and I think that's when I found out how, like, why I didn't want to become a pilot is because, like, she would, like, put, like, these seeds in my head, or, like, these thoughts in my head, and, like, they would just, like, blow up. Like, I'll be driving back from Greeley or Fort Collins, and that's when I'll be like, why would she keep asking me? Why she, like, I would keep asking myself whatever she asked, and then, like, so why do I want to become a pilot? And I'm honestly, the best answer I could come up with, I was like, because it's cool. That's the only reason. I'm like, oh yeah, it'll be cool, you know,
driving a big ass plane.
Yeah. I mean, and then like, and I'm like, okay, so why would it be cool? I was like, oh, because I could, you know, tell people, like, my parents think it's cool, like they're proud of it. I'm like, am I here to be cool for my parents? Am I here to impress my parents, or am I really wanting to do something that makes me happy? And that was a question where I'm like, I need to do something that makes me happy. And me becoming a commercial pilot was not it. And that's when I realized, I'm like no, this is not what I want to do. It's not the route for me to go for me to be happy. And so at that point, I started talking to my counselor. Like, all right, it's like, what do I need to do for me to be to a state of happiness, or for me to be like proud of the person I am? And like that's so like the depression I was in was mostly like finding out who I was. And I feel like a lot of people struggle with that. Like trying to find out who truly the type of person they are.